G'day YouTube, my name's Lance. Welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, today we're going to do a little how-to video or an information video on the International Harvester glow plugs. Now these glow plugs, they're used in the BD154 engine and other ones, and they're common in like the B275, B250, 414, 434. Quite a lot of tractors have these glow plugs. Now, what I see out and about, and from experience out there mechanicking, a lot of people don't set these up correctly, and they, because of the modern vehicles nowadays, where the glow plugs are in parallel, a lot of these actually get hooked up in parallel, or there's a couple of little tricks to fitting your own glow plugs and testing them correctly, fitting them correctly. There's a couple of little things there that we can sort of hone in on if we can. And so I might hone in here. I'll get my dial out of the video. I'll go into the board, and I initially just want to show you the difference between parallel and series with electrical products. Now these glow plugs are in series. That means that when they line up, the power has to come through one to the next one to the next one, where the modern glow plugs on a modern diesel engine, they're often in parallel. So I'll go in close to the board. I'll try and explain. I'm not much of a bloody school teacher, but we'll try and get in close and have a bit of a yarn about that to start with. Well, I've got a bit of gobbledygook on the board here. Now, this line at the top here, this is how your glow plugs in your modern diesel engines are. So you bring the power in from here, it comes through, it earths out to here, there, and at any one time they can all glow. If one is crook, say this one burns the tip out, these other three will still burn, because they have a direct route from power for coming in from the supply to earth. Each one has its own road to earth. So if one glow plug buggers up, blows out, burns out, the others will probably still work. That is, and actually this won't be going out there further, you have the power coming in and it'll just earth out through these fellas. So that's in parallel. See these lines, they're all in parallel going straight to earth. So these International Harvester glow plugs, this little fella here, they're not in parallel, they're built to be in series. So we'll take the parallel one out of the equation here, and you'll notice I have the power coming in here. So the power comes in, and then it comes in through the pepper pot. Now I might just drop the camera a little, as I have a pepper pot in my test gear here. There you go. So power comes from your ignition source through a pepper pot, we call it, and look, to make it look a bit like what's on the dash, that's what they look like on the dash for you, but we'll get in close to this shortly. And so the power comes through the pepper pot. The pepper pot and all of these glow plugs are around 0.9 of a volt, so yeah, they don't run on full power. So what happens is it comes from the pepper pot, it comes down through the centre of the glow plug, so through the guts here, then the power goes down through the hook, so the electricity comes in the top here, it comes down through the coil, then it goes back up, and that little brass section in there under the ceramic bobbin, I suppose, for want of a better word, then it goes on further. So the power comes in, it goes down through the coil, comes out this next section of the coil. Then it goes across, so from the bottom section here, the next one goes from there across to there, through the coil, and then out the top. And it doesn't matter whether it's top or bottom, because the power comes in, it must complete that circuit all the way. Between your glow plugs, you'll notice you have a wire, and some of them have a big circle on them and some of them have a little circle on them. Now the big circle ones go down the bottom here, the little circle ones go on the top. Now I can't remember which was which, how many of what was there. So the idea of all this is that that wire that is between your glow plugs, I've just used some heavy duty wire left over from a job here, but that wire there must be heavier than the coil here and heavier than the coil there, so that this doesn't glow and get hot. The glow and get hot actually happens down here. So I've had this glow plug returned, and the customer said that glow plug, we've tested it with an ohm meter, it doesn't work, it's a dud. So let's have a look at what we should be checking. So I'll try and keep it all. So we're on ohms there now. I'm not sure if you can see that. I'll try and zone in a little bit further. You can't. I think you can just see that. So with an ohm meter, as you join these two probes, we have the little noise coming to tell us that we have zero resistance. So at any time, say we test the top here. So I'll just jam that probe in the top. If we test below on the coil, you can see we don't have any resistance. If I test the brass piece there, so I probably should reverse this. So if we bring power in the top, so this is connected to there, but notice this, the earth is not connected. So yet when we come to the little brass ring underneath, it works there. So the test is, you put power in one end, check the coil, and if you test on the body of the glow plug and you get a reading, that means something's shorted out inside. It's not how it should be. But the little brass piece on the top that this bobbin goes down onto, you should be able to test right there, and that tells us that this is okay. So, well, it should be okay, this is a brand new one. But if, let's just do another test, same test but back to front. We'll just pick up the bottom end there. If that earthed out on the body there, it'll be chuck it in the bin. It's no good. We should be able to check the brass on the bobbin or the top. So what that shows us is that we have power comes in the top, down through the coil, out the bottom. And then the next one, the power will come in the bottom, out through the top and head off. So there's a couple of things we need to look at with that, and I'll get the camera set up again and we'll just go out a little bit wider. Okay, so we can see what happens where the power goes through a glow plug. We've just covered where the power goes through a glow plug and how it should be. So the power can come in from the top, go through the glow plug, glow this up and come out the bottom, or it can come out the bottom, come down through the glow plug and to the top. Now, all of these here, if anything in that system plays up, you have nothing. So, and I'll just show you something. I've just got a little terminal here that I play with just to light them all up. Now, what happens with these, the power comes in through the pepper pot, this is the pepper pot we call it, through the glow plugs, and then on these engines it actually earths out through a bolt on the water pump at the front. So that's what has to complete the circuit. And which looks funny, you're feeding power right through, then you're feeding it to earth. You'd think, oh, it'd short out and blow up. Well, we need that resistance there to come in. Now, if I hold this, I'll just close that for a minute so I can just do this. So this is turning the switch on. So you can see there, the pepper pot's glowing. If you look down the bottom here, they're all slowly starting to glow. So there we go, that's plenty. Your engine will start with that and away you go. So, but let's have a look. If one item in this whole setup isn't there, as in if one of these coils burns out or something like that, let's undo this line here and put power across again. Nothing works. When one item in an electrical setup is in series, if one item's out, the whole lot are out. You get nothing. So if one little glow plug burns out, you have nothing at all. But you can usually tell by the glow plug or the dash pot won't glow, so it's worth looking at that. Now, I'll take that power out again. I'll put this little fella back on. There we go. I couldn't find the bloody top. There we go. Okay, so I've got that fella back on. Now, there's another scenario, and what got me doing this is, as I sell tractor parts, as you know, and we had a bloke come in and he said, those glow plugs you sell the shit. He said, I put them in, and as soon as I put it in, one burned out, and here's the one that burned out. You can actually see it burned out. Well, why would it do that? And what happens is when you unscrew the glow plug here, if you unscrew the glow plug, the coil on the old glow plug might be sitting in a little socket of carbon there, and as you turn it to undo it, the glow plug rattles around and scrubs about a little bit and loosens some of that carbon off. And so you've got a bit of carbon sitting down in the bottom of your combustion chamber, in the side of your combustion chamber. The new glow plug you screw in, this may be a different shape, and they are a different shape. This may be a little bit longer, a little bit out there further. So what can happen is if the hole where the glow plug goes isn't cleaned out properly, you can screw this in, but say it happens to this one here, you have a direct short. So this will glow, this will go pop, it'll just blow it, and yeah, that's it, she's all over Red Rover. So, and I'm gonna burn one up just to show you that can happen. But old mate here, he also tested this one, this glow plug, and he said that glow plug, he said myself and my mate, the auto Lecky, we've checked that out and it's not connecting. Your glow plugs aren't working. So with the, God, I've got some junk on the bench here for making this project. Okay, so let's have a look. So we'll earth the ohms meter out. We've still got it set on ohms. It's a bit hard for you to see this one, but okay, why is it doing that? Wherever we look, we have a completed circuit because we're earthing it out up here. So if we just hook onto the glow plug there, you still get an earth reading out here because the circuit is still complete through here, yet we haven't got power in there yet, but by testing with it hooked in to the system, and we'll just go to there, going into the system, because the whole thing is earthed up here, if you test the body of the glow plug out, it will show an earth reading. So that's just how it is. It has to do it. So another interesting thing, and we may have to do this in a couple of goes so it doesn't get too hot. I'll pop the earth here on the earth. Now we're sitting at 12.6 volts battery voltage. So we know that our battery's got a certain voltage in it. Now, as the power comes through the pepper pot and through each one of these, we don't have 12 volts because these are resistors, and that's why they glow, resistance, and they're set to earth here. So let's just do a quick test. Okay, we're on 5.6, 2.9, 2.9, 0.1 because it's close to earth. And look, they're all working fine, but you don't actually get a 12 volt test through here. So they are working well, but you don't get the full 12 volts all the way along because in each instance the voltage is being reduced by the resistance in the system. Okay, I've replaced the coil in the pepper pot with a heavier one that I made because I was running out of parts plain. So when we pop the wire there, you can see this one won't glow, but these all glow. And you notice it glows a lot quicker than it used to, because with the little coil in there, that was the weak link. The least, well, it would have more resistance to get hot. So what I want to demonstrate is, if you screw a glow plug in and it earths out, okay, we have the red lead going to earth here, and we'll just pop that one there, say. And you hit him up, so that's gone. So that's how they blow. So with that there, I'll actually undo this one and show you. And what happens there is, because that coil is open now, so I've still got it hooked up to the power, but we have power coming in. If we tested power all through here, it would go till there, and there's no power going past this point. If I pop my screwdriver in there, you can see these fellas will end up starting to glow as long as the circuit's complete, but don't really need to wreck a screwdriver. So let's undo this one. And the only reason I've done that is to explain or to show what happens when the carbon builds up. So if the carbon builds up in your system, excuse me, if the carbon builds up in your system and your glow plug earths out, and that can happen with any one of these, not just this one. I burnt this one because that was the one that was returned. It wasn't supposed to be working, and a big hoo-ha. Anyway, and you can see the coil's burnt. So the coil's burned out with that one. So no big deal. We've got more here. Hey, we can just wreck a heap. So. And whether this body is earthed or not, it just doesn't matter. And I suppose we could do a little test there just to prove the point. So we'll put that one down there, and then the thimble, bobbin, whatever you'd like to call it, goes there. Oh, we've still got that hooked up. And that one goes there. We'll just run this one down quickly. So this body here doesn't have to be earthed. That was what I'm trying to show you. So if I pop the power across there, see, the outside has nothing to do with it, it just doesn't matter. If you hold them on too long, if you're testing and you just hold them on too long, they will pop. So you can just pop them from holding them on and trying to start the tractor and just overdoing it. So you only need to count about 12, 10 or 12, and you're away. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. I'll zoom out for a little bit, and we'll finish the video up there. Now, I hope you got something out of that. Leave questions. Like the video and subscribe even. I suppose I hardly ever say subscribe, but anyway, subscribe. And you got any questions or that to do with these glow plugs, leave a message down the bottom. I answer them all. Or bundybearsshed at gmail.com, and yeah, we can just have a bit of a discussion if you like. But the main thing is to understand that it's in series. One item of this is gone, the rest doesn't work. The dash pot, I think the aftermarket dash pot resistors could be a bit heavier, because once I put my big heavy bugger in there, well, these glow plugs work fine. But in saying that, in reality, the quality one, it glowed way more than the glow plugs did, where if you test all the original ones, they pretty well glow together in about 10 or 12 seconds. So, okay, that's it. I hope you get something from this. Probably clear as mud, but yeah, it may help you out if you're having trouble with one, or you're wiring them wrong or something like that. Or the other thing, I suppose, is if you wire these from the top to the top to the top to the top to earth, and you bang that on, this dash pot will just go pop, and you'll have nothing there because you have one resistor in the line and the rest are dead short. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. We'll catch up the next time, mate.